Hey, let me know if you can hear me and see me. Or see it. Hey, thank you, Miss Donna. Alright, let's get going, guys. Thank you. Alright, James Kaufman, World News Report today. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a full-on volcano earthquake update. Now, I did think that there'd be some more earthquakes besides the 7.8, which was a very big quake that hit on the 21st. I'm still hedging my bets, and it's the 21st still here. I'm looking for another big quake before the 22nd is over. We'll see if that happens. I don't know if it's going to, but we do have a really good planetary alignment. What we don't have is the sun has not been flaring a lot, so our plates don't have the energy inside them, and they're not ready to explode. So we'll have to see how this all plays out. We're going to start out with, y'all are welcome to guess how many volcanoes are erupting around the globe right now. This is according to volcanodiscovery.denmark. And it's been between 80 and 89. The highest we've ever seen is 89. The lowest we've ever seen in the last 18 months is 39. So it's been all over the map. The ones in red are in full eruption, and the ones in orange are in minor eruption. So I'll get to counting, y'all get to guessing, put it down there. No prizes or giveaways today, but we'll give there you go, that a boy or a girl to the winner of this. And we can see that there's 4 in minor eruption right up here. 2 that look like they're on the peninsula in Alaska, and 2 on the Aleutian Islands. 5, 6, 7. Well, 30 already, guys. Look at this. Iceland is heating up. They talked about how global warming, or the ice caps melting, whatever you want to call it, just a cycle we're in. It's not caused by humans, trust me. They're going to open up all these volcanoes that have been sitting dormant, and it's like a chain reaction. YouTube pulled my video, wouldn't let me play my video I'd put together for 2 or 3 hours about a week ago that showed y'all how the chain reaction works, i.e. one volcano spits out greenhouse gases and warms the atmosphere more, and as it goes, it's just a chain reaction, and that's what we're going to get caught up in as we have before. They told me that I was making stuff up and I wasn't allowed to play it, so I erased it. Took me hours to put that together. I used papers from PhDs. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 42, 43. All right, let's see how we're going to do this. $50. 60. 70. 80. 90. Looks like 87 to me, guys. 87. That's what I'm coming back with. It could be, give or take. We're going to go with 87 volcanoes erupting. That's only 2 less than have been erupting over the last. And I did see AI said the most volcanoes erupted in the last 100 years. At one time was 89. We actually counted them that night. It's 89. And that was this year. Within the last 12 months. So we're very close to that. Let's see who won that. It looks like Hocam. Hocam. Now, Hocam, tell me what your name means. Is that your real name, or does that mean something that I'm not aware of? Hocam. Does that mean something? I have no idea. Alright, so guys, y'all know my subscribers and viewers know that it's the weekend, so nothing's been reported by the Canadian government. That's why we don't see anything in red here. The last report they're going to have is going to be circled in purple. We'll see if we can zoom in and find it somewhere. It'll be here, circled in purple. I think I saw it over here in this. Yep, there it is right there. This is a salt mine right here. And you can see it right there, the Bacillus salt mine. And that's what all these quakes are. The salt mine comes all the way from, you guessed it, if you guessed Lake Erie here, and all the salt mines that run under Lake Erie, they actually flow up to this area, and there's where y'all see the most quakes here. There's another salt mine right here. Facts that you never really wanted to know, right? Alright, so we have our plate boundaries here in red and blue, and everything in red's under full eruption, everything in orange is under minor eruption, everything in yellow is quote-unquote awakening. And it looks like we have around 1,500, they say, active volcanoes. I count 10 times that amount. They only count them as active if they've gone off in the last 10,000 years. I believe that to be a speck of time. If the world or Earth is really 4 billion years old, 10,000 years is not even a second of time. So they say there's about 1,500 active volcanoes currently, and we have only 89 out of those 1,500, or 87, going off currently. Excuse me. So hey, what did we not see for years and years? And what did James tell y'all that we'd start to see? We never saw quakes in this area up here. Now we've got a volcano that's awakening, Santorini. We've got a large quake here of 5.1. How did I know this was going to happen? Because the Bible is like a playbook. I knew that there had to be a tsunami that hit Israel when the seven countries surrounded it to attack it, because of what it says in 10 different sections. So I knew we were dealing with tsunami. What causes tsunami? Only one thing I know of, an earthquake. It could be a volcano-earthquake combo, but it's going to be an earthquake. That's how I knew before. 2 years ago, there wasn't one single 0.1, even a 0.1 earthquake in the Aegean Sea. And if I hit it right now, watch. Look at the Aegean Sea. Just showing y'all. We nailed it because the Bible is a playbook. We were here together and we watched this plate form, and I said when it finally forms, all that energy is going to hit the Aegean Sea, and it did just that. There's several places you can see the plate boundaries don't meet here and here. They don't meet in Sicily here where the volcanoes are. There's hundreds of places in black. Anywhere in black, they don't meet. over in the eastern hemisphere, hundreds of places. In the western hemisphere, there's not a lot going on. There's 4 or 5 places in the western hemisphere where the plates don't meet, and that's it, guys. So y'all can see this is actually going to be 2. I think, yep, there's 2 right there erupting. And so Africa is trying to wake back up. Madagascar is currently on fire. The whole thing has fires everywhere. And these volcanoes are awakening. Ethiopia is awakening. Ethiopia is biblical. Yemen, Saudi Arabia, all of Central America, they got to see that partial solar eclipse today. Keep wanting to say lunar eclipse. I've been wondering why they put this in super dark red. Does that mean it's like the biggest eruption they've ever seen? You can see that this is not fully connected here. This is our biggest caldera on Earth, the second biggest in the solar system, and it's called Xinjiang. I'll try it. Jang. Xinjiang. I really am not very good at that. Luckily, the Himalayan mountains have kept India, now the most populated continent in the world, or the most populated country of the world, excuse me. There are 3.4 billion people in India and only 3.3 billion people in China, and most of them, of course, as you guys know, we're over here from Hong Kong, where we just saw that huge, absolutely huge, system coming through right into the Straits of Hong Kong there. I mean, it's going to come right up in there. This is one of the largest cities in the world, and then Shanghai, which is right here, another one of the largest cities in the world. And then, if you want to keep going, Beijing is right here, right? So those 3 cities alone have more people than the U.S. total. So how come, since we only have 27% of ground above water, and we can take the 1500 and extrapolate that, right? So real quick, and then 27%, so I'm going to say 1.73, right? I'm a math genius, I used to be. Equals, this is underwater. There's another 2,600 volcanoes that we call sea mounds, approximately underwater. And obviously that was some easy math, right? We took the 27% of land above sea level. We took the amount of active volcanoes that has been called out by several agencies, about 1,500, and then we put that into a figure to figure out how much, might be underwater. Now there might be, that's plus or minus. You can see all these are volcanoes. All this is volcanic ridges. You don't see this above water. Every bump you see here is a volcano. Every bump you see here is a volcano. Look at the faults here. They don't know what they're going to do. This is Zealandia rising. If we have any new players here, I'm going to show you what Zealandia is in just a second. It's the 8th continent rising. It goes from Papua New Guinea over to Fiji, Tonga, and then down here south of Tasmania. In New Zealand, if you'll see the light blue area, is trying to make a land grab on the minerals and calling this their continental shelf with the UN, although New Zealand's not a continent. That's New Caledonia right there. Why don't they get a little bit of something? Look at all the volcanoes and these volcanic ridges. And look at all these volcanoes underwater here. There might be more. There might be more underwater than above water. I want to show you something kind of interesting. Whale and then White Island volcano. And then when you come down here, well, Erebus is erupting, but there's White Island volcano again. They've renamed it. This has all been erased, and, well, we're not allowed to see what they're doing down here. And I mean anywhere down here now. They've taken all this out. All this has been removed. Everything from the base, that's Murdoch Station. Everything from the pyramids has been removed. Whatever's going down there, it's bad news. Bad news. All right, so around the Indonesian island chain, which is actually created by this volcano right here, because what happened was it hit the It hit the Himalayan mountains. It went around. Let me show you all, and created Burma, Thailand, Vietnam, then Malaysia, and then started creating these Indonesian islands from how many times it's erupted. So what did China do last time? What China did is they took its very last eruption, and y'all can see it real easy. See the magma? And they put their their border. They put their border right there where the last eruption went. You can see that hard border, and these are all states or provinces within China here. So that's where they made their boundary. Everything else was this peninsula, and most of these islands were all formed by this same volcano that's mostly in China. Some of it's in Tajikistan or Kyrgyzstan, etc. Look at that size of that boy. They run a lot of their military shit on top of here, FYI. Alright, aliens. I don't know about all that. Alright. So we had a decent size 5.2, really nothing to talk home about. 10 kilometers, default depth 5.2, 5.5. This is going to be Aleutian Islands of 5.5. And I don't see any tsunami warning or anything. We'll see when we get to the USPS report. So there's no big quakes, and this was my go-to day, and tomorrow, the 22nd, is my day of choice. My day of choice, as y'all know, is going to be tomorrow, but I was really expecting more activity than I'm seeing now. Now, I'm not saying there's not a lot of earthquakes going on. Look at these large quakes here in the Aegean Sea. Quakes all the way down from Mexico City, under the volcanoes in Central America, which is part of North America, in Colombia, down into the Peruvian-Chilean wedge here, and get that 5-0 in New Zealand, above that a 4-1. You can see Indonesia's lighting up. That's magma movement under all the volcanoes that are erupting, obviously. Not teaching you anything you don't know. Look at this swarm in the last 24 hours on that peninsula. Now, what did we learn yesterday? Well, we learned one of the biggest 2 or 3 quakes, I think it's number 2 ever in the world, popped off here. I don't remember what date it was, but if y'all want to go back and look, we can. It was since 1900. It was a 9 point something. And so this area is not new. This has been a volcanic area. It's actually a subduction zone. And we have 7 volcanoes that are all active right here. And we have this is the Pacific plate boundary, North American plate boundary, and let's see what they're calling this, the Okhotsk plate boundary. And we have the Pacific plate boundary subsiding under the North American and Okhotsk plate. So there's a subduction zone right here, and that's what you're seeing. All right, we're going to put them all on. This is pretty weird up here, I won't lie. The 5-1 up here, and that's not Iceland, that's Iceland. This is Greenland, a 4-6. Now, to see these quakes this far to the north or this far to the south, it's a freak show. This is almost on top of Earth here, okay? It's strange how they don't show you that, but this is very, very strange. Earth comes together right where my hand is right here. Everything comes together right there in a big ball. Greenland had some activity. My study that I tried to publish that YouTube wouldn't let me said that Iceland was showing y'all the domino effect right now. After one went off, it helped melted the ice that was holding down others, and now it's in a domino effect. They believe that that's going to start happening in Antarctica as well, and that should parlay into an ongoing event where we have nothing but volcanoes go off for years, which would be deadly event for humans because we wouldn't be able to buy food, and because of the toxins in the air, i.e. PM 2.5 and carbon monoxide, right? All right, let's take a look at all of them. Boom, look how. Now, I'm not saying that we're not busy, because we're busier than a beaver. Busier than a beaver. Building a dam. As y'all can see, look at, you can't even see the volcanoes in Central America anymore. And not all of them in Colombia, there in Peru, have a lot of magma movement under them. But I will say Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and also Puerto Rico. Now, Edgar Casey came out, and he said, right before the end of times, and I discussed this with Tiffany the other day, I think it was Tiffany, Pele volcano, which is awakening, and Etna volcano. He said they'll both go off for the first time, but we're just waiting on Pele. First time, and then we'll be within 2 weeks of the end of times. That's Edgar Casey. Now, I don't put all my salt into everything he said, but I thought it was interesting how one of them's been going off and one of them's awakening, right? How come are you in Arizona, or is that dessert? So I like some dessert. I went to look for some dessert, I won't lie to y'all. Alright, I wanted to show y'all what's happening in the Aegean Sea. If y'all recall, just 6 months ago, there wasn't one single earthquake in the Aegean Sea. Not one, folks. Not one, and now it's nothing but a big swarm of earthquakes, and one of these is going to be big enough for to see a volcano awakening here. These are the, well, right here, the Straits of Gibraltar, seeing activity there, and we're also seeing, get some information here, a very shallow 2.3 and a very shallow 2.6 here in France. I don't know if they're mining something there or what's going on. Don't have enough information to tell y'all. And just off of this caldera here, got a 4-5. There's where we want our air base back with our blow up C-17. Yes, it was a blow up doll. It's so funny when my poor mom won't even look. She won't even look. She thinks I'm crazy. She won't even look at it. It's okay, I'm crazy. Crazy. It's not a blow up. We don't pay. I didn't see the contract that shows that we pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for those blow-up decoys. I missed that one, or did I? Alright, so this is all happening here south of the caldera here. You can see around Indonesia we have magma movement under all the awakening volcanoes here and up to the Philippines. Wow. You know, my friend has been all around the world building natural gas plants. He bailed on this one, man. He said, man, Luzon exploded on him and his car, and he was gone, man, gone. Now there's supposed to be more pressure between Pacific, North American, Eurasia, and Indonesia plate here, and if y'all might look, there's no connection here. There's no connection here. And what are we doing here? It's going to be, look, Fukushima. See if we get a little Fuki in there. Fukushima, there it is. Fukushima. Now, not only is the whole plant shut down, the city's shut down, the state of Fukushima, there's a province or state shut down. There's only one road to get to the whole north part of the island here, and it's on the far coast over here. And all these quakes, they've built 14 more nuclear power plants. And look, they built one right here. I mean, right there. And I'm like, wait a minute, how could they be that stupid? This is right on a volcanic ridge. Another volcanic ridge coming up through here. The whole island is a volcanic ridge. You got another one coming up through here. How could they build 4 more reactors right here? And then you've got a 2-5 here. I thought Japanese people were smart. I really, 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 really did. I don't see how anyone calls nuclear energy clean energy. I just don't see it like that. Name one nuclear power plant that's been reclaimed. In other words, like brought back to the grassy knoll it was prior to their, well, to them creating nuclear energy on that area. There's no such thing. Look at that swarm now up there on that peninsula. Not the first time, and one of the top, I think, 3 biggest earthquakes ever. I think the 8.8 made number 5. But there's a bigger quake than that happened up here too. Top 1, 2, or 3. I know it's not number 1 because that was down in Chile. I think it was number 2 or 3. Also happened right here on this peninsula. So I believe that was 1952, 53. Y'all can watch my earthquake report yesterday about it if you want to see it. I cover the top 10 biggest quakes. Got to push one aside for that 8.8 that happened right there. 8.8 that happened right there. Those are freaking me out. Freaking me out all the way up there to the north. Obviously a volcanic range here. A 2-5. This is right there. Mount Spur, Mount Hayes. We're talking about aliens. And that is, this little area in here is Anchorage. See Anchorage? More than 50, look at all these volcanoes underground. They call it seamounts. That's what they call them if they don't break ground. More than 50% of all the people that live in Alaska live in that little bitty area right there. And it is small. It's right. Does anyone know what the capital's name is? Does anyone know? Is it buffering? Tiffany knows. It is Juneau. And it was right in here somewhere. I was going to show it to y'all. But no one lives there. We're talking about 10,000 people. So, alright. And Glenn spelled it right. Where'd it go? Glenn, you live in Alaska, don't you? I remember Glenn lives in Alaska, so he knows, man. Am I a little bit too far to the north? There it is. I was a little bit too far north here. There it is right there. There's your capital, Juneau. God. Sparse. I guess I'd feel more safe in Juneau at the island pub than I would feel in Anchorage. At least you have a bunch of waterways that you're going to have to get through to get to you, I guess. Alright, so remember, Canada does not report anything to anyone else, and on the weekends you get no information whatsoever. I think that's going to be it for this map. I think that's it for this map. Move on to the USBS. They're full of bull. We just had a 5.0 here. While I'm sleeping tonight, I foresee a big quake. And this is up near Mount Spur and Mount Hayes. Mount Spur and Mount Hayes to the north of that. They say that Pat Price, the remote viewer, was killed for what he viewed remotely within those mountains. That was the U.S. Marines working with aliens on humans. These are all fracking. Look at that fracking earthquakes, man. I'm drilling over there a lot. There's two different plays. Klein Shale. This is another shale play here. That looks ugly. Nothing here is out of the ordinary whatsoever. This looks like it's geysers. Look at geysers getting hit. This tells y'all there's an uptick. So geysers just got hit. Geysers is a geothermal plant. Real quick. Zealandia rise in the 8th continent. So I type it in. The 8th continent, and none of these are perfect, or I don't agree with any of them perfectly, but we'll show you one to get you, give me an idea of what's going on. So here's New Zealand, here's New Caledonia. This goes up to Papua New Guinea, over to Fiji and Tonga, and then this is the 8th continent rising. They say there's a strait in between Australia and I know this picture's not real good, but like I spent a lot of time on it. Most of my subscribers have seen it. Everyone's got their own idea about that. Alright, instead we're going to bet on the biggest geothermal plant in the world. The biggest geothermal, it didn't used to be. That was in Iceland, but that one got taken off. What's the biggest geothermal plant in the world? Well, that means it's Kaiser's Geothermal, owned by Calpine Oil and Gas. And if you work there, you have to deal with how many a day? Let's see if we can get this a little bit further over. Only 29 earthquakes. I would have guessed much more than that today. 29 earthquakes a day. Not a really bad day. Everything looks pretty good here. This is right on top of Mount Rainier. A small earthquake. Fairly shallow, but very small. Nothing to worry about anywhere in the U.S. whatsoever, guys. Dominican Republic. Definitely. That's Haiti right there. That's Dominican Republic. Definitely something going on here. And that's where that second volcano is here that has to go off. If you believe in, is it William Casey? Is that his first name? Alright, and these are all ongoing fires around the U.S. 145,000 acres mostly contained. Right on top of Yellowstone, 19,000 acres, only 63% contained. Right on top of Yellowstone, right north of Yellowstone, contained. 50% contained, 2,200 acres. 1,300 acres, 70% contained. 21,000 acres, 93% contained. 1,000, 0% contained. 73% contained. There's one that we missed up here. 14,000 here, and definitely missed that 0% contained one there. See if we can get to it. We don't give up. Just 1,000 acres, 0% contained. Everything 23,000 acres, 24,000 acres, 20% contained. Right on Mount Rainier, 7% contained. Right on top of Mount Rainier, which is scary. You start to see this, and these are all new fires here. Everything in yellow and red started today. Regularly this late in the season, you're not seeing this many new fires. 19,000 acres, 6% contained. Northern California, 12,000, 84% contained. All contained there. All contained there. And all contained there. And we looked at that before. So we're doing a pretty good job of containment. I wanted to mention two things. This is the New Madrid fault line. Look how many fires there are on the New Madrid fault line. That's it right there. For some reason, look at it. It's on fire. What does that tell y'all? And then when we get over here into this area here, 1,200 acres and 75 acres contained. But this is a problem. This is New Madrid. This is the city of New Madrid. It's like right there. It's New Madrid, and these are all fires. Bad news. Air quality. Well, it's not as bad as I've seen it. Obviously, everything in yellow is bad. This is PM 2.5, the deadliest particulate known to man. And, ladies and gentlemen, looks like the, Central Plains, but more so the eastern Central Plains are really getting crushed here. I believe this is a combination of these volcanoes from Mexico City down that are moving PM 2.5 across the Gulf of Mexico, and there's really not a lot of fires. This is pretty hard to explain, although we don't see any real hazards. We see 105 parts per million there, which would be deadly. Just 10 parts per million increases your lung cancer percentage with decent time of exposure 36%. Just 10. And these yellows are going to be like 50s. 58, right? So just 10 parts per million increase your chance of having lung cancer by that much. As you can see, these are all fires here, and a lot of this is due to the fire. I can't really pinpoint what this is due to. I'm guessing the stuff on the Gulf Coast are all these volcanoes, since we have 20 of them right here going off. But I just don't think that they're going up that far. What we will do is I have this, we have luckily this front coming through. It's going to clean us all out. Look at this shit they threw down. Bye, Felicia. Well, you can't even use or need more weapon. Let me show y'all weather enhancement going on. See the chocolate brown there? That is, hey, clean sweet. Hey, that means we love you. That means Clean actually sponsored last night's video. Now she's sponsoring tomorrow night's video. Although we also had Miss C Angel come in and help her out, and someone else helped you out as far as L Scout. So appreciate Clean Sweep. Love you, sweetheart. God bless you. So we will be live tomorrow night as well, and if she wants to read then or now, all she's got to do is tell me. This is weather enhancement here, guys. You can first tell because large amounts of lightning, first off, when it hits the aluminum bitrate here, or aluminum oxide, is how you call it. And then the byproduct is going to be a darker black. Well, that's what the book points to. Something's happening big tomorrow. I don't know what's happening tomorrow, but something crazy is happening tomorrow. But if not, we'll be back here and we'll be live. Thanks to you for helping the channel out with a small donation. And if anyone wants to help out, guys, it's not y'all's fault, but YouTube sucks, and they make sure that I make zero money off all the lives because they don't want me going live. I'm too much of a risk for them. So what they do is they find 10 seconds, 5 seconds of a song. They take all the money away from the whole night, not from these reports, but from any news report that we do. And then they let me fix it and keep it up, but by then they took it's regularly $7-10, that's it. But for me, 5 hours, at least I want my $7, right? Alright, this is what I've been telling y'all. I believe this area here is, look down here where you see these volcanoes. This is actually 100% chance of formation right here. This is really bad air quality in Mississippi and Alabama, guys. Hopefully y'all are staying out of these areas and up in Tennessee. These are all parts per million. Remember, just 10 increase your lung cancer percentage by 36%. So you can't really times it by 3. That's not how this works. But you can imagine that you have a much higher risk at 28 or 30 parts per million than you do 10, where you have a very high risk, right? YouTube sucks. Can we just leave it at YouTube sucks? I love the Wi-Files. He doesn't even have YouTube. He doesn't even have, that dude, AJ's so cool, man. He told YouTube he doesn't want their ads. They make no money off of him. He got demonetized. For telling the truth about ATIP, which was that fake UFO program that they put Lou out to propagate. AJ told the truth. They demonetized him. He said, "Screw y'all." Right now, he has 65 employees. He's got a studio that must be 20,000, 30,000 square feet, 3 different recording rooms. He has Patreons. He has members. He has sponsors. He doesn't take a dime from YouTube. I can't even believe that they let him continue, but if not, everyone would follow AJ wherever he went. AJ used to be a Hollywood producer, and he's got what I believe to be the best work product on YouTube. I really do believe that. A real winner. It's amazing. He won't take a dime from him, and once they demonetize him, he didn't try to get remonetized. He found other ways. He doesn't want to be controlled by them. He's quite the winner. I like him a lot. All right. these areas of yellow here, probable tornadic activity tomorrow. James Kaufman, World News Report today. Who am I speaking with?
Amy, how are you?
Hey, Miss Amy, how are you?
I'm alright. I got something to read for you.
Okay, let me show them one more screen and we're done for the night.
Alright.
This will be day 3, guys, Tuesday, and there could be a small area of tornadic activity and heavy thunderstorms here in Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma. Y'all can see it with your own eyes here. But all in all, I think all 3 of the Atlantic hurricanes are going to miss us. And the other one in the Pacific is headed out towards Hawaii. And I'll keep you updated if anything changes with those hurricanes. Now, hopefully Miss Amy has something cool for us to listen to or read.
Yeah, I just opened up to 1 Chronicles chapter 16.
Okay.
I don't know, that's what he gave me. I haven't even read it yet.
Alright, I believe you. She's probably going to use something more complicated. I'm going to use the NIV, and I'll try to, if there's a difference, which there usually is, I will try to keep us highlighted where she's at. Alright, mine starts out, ministering before the ark. They brought the ark of God and set it inside the tent that David had pitched for it.
That's right. So they brought the ark of God and set it in the midst of the tent that David had pitched for it, and they offered burnt sacrifices and peace offerings before God. And I saw something the other day that they've only made 9 red heifer sacrifices before ours recently, so I found that interesting.
Well, what they've done is they said they were practice ones and they were real ones, and all they have to do with the I read the Jewish books, and all they need is enough to put down, and they already actually have the temple going up. They needed to dust the ground with the red heifer ashes as under the foundation. That's the amount they needed.
I heard the other day, which I've never heard this before, that Jesus is supposed to make the 10th red heifer sacrifice.
Well, I don't know.
Jesus himself, when he comes down.
I've never heard that.
Me either. Now, I need to do some research on it, but I found it interesting. I heard that.
Well, let's check right now.
We can. I'm going to finish reading this.
Yeah.
And when David had made an end of offering the burnt offerings and the peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord, and he dealt to every one of Israel, both man and woman, to every one a loaf of bread and a good piece of flesh and a flagon of wine. And he appointed certain of the Levites to minister before the ark of the Lord, and to record and to thank and praise the Lord God of Israel. Asaph, the chief, and next to him Zechariah, Zeel, and Miramoth, and Jehiel, and Mattiate, and Eliab, and Benaiah, and Obedam, and Jael, and psalteries with harps, with Asaph made a sound with cymbals. Benaiah also, and Jehazel, the priest, with trumpets, continually before the ark of the covenant of God. Then on the day, David delivered first the psalm to thank the Lord in the hand of Asaph and his brethren. Give thanks unto the Lord, call upon his name, make known his deeds among the people. Sing unto him, sing psalms unto him, talk ye of his wondrous works. Glorify ye in his holy name, and let the heart of them rejoice in that seek the Lord. Seek the Lord in his strength, seek his face continually. Remember his marvelous works that he hath done, his wonders, and the judgments of his mouth. O ye seed of Israel, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen ones. He is Lord our God, his judgments are in all the earth. Be ye mindful always of his covenant, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations. I think that's interesting there, to 1,000 generations. And never seen that before. In verse 15. Even of the covenant which he had made with Abraham of his oath unto Isaac, and he confirmed it, saying to Jacob for a law, and to Israel for everlasting covenant, saying unto thee will I give the land of Canaan, and the lot of your inheritance, which ye review, even a few, and strangers in it. And when he went from the nation to nation, and from one kingdom to another, he suffered no man to do them wrong, yet he had reproved kings for their sake, saying, touch not mine appointed, and do my prophets no harm. Sing unto the Lord all the earth, show forth from day to day his salvation, declare his glory among the heathen, and his marvelous works among all nations. For great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised, and he is also to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the people are idols, but the Lord made heavens. Glory and honor are to his presence, strength and gladness are unto his place. Give unto the Lord, ye kindreds of the people, give unto the Lord glory and strength. Give unto the Lord the glory due unto his name. Bring an offering and come before him. Worship the Lord in a beauty of holiness. Fear before him all the earth. The world shall be stable, shall also be stable, that it not be moved. That's interesting how he put it like that. The world shall also be stable, that it will not be moved. Let the heavens be glad, and let the earth rejoice, and let man say among the nations, the Lord reigneth. Let the seas roar, and the fullness thereof, let the fields rejoice, and all that is therein. Then see the trees of the wood sing out in presence of the Lord, because he cometh to judge the earth. O give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever. And say, ye save us, O God, from our salvation, and gather us together, and deliver us from the heathen, so that we may give thanks unto thy holy name, and the glory in thy praise. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel forever and ever. And all the people said, Amen, and praised the Lord. So he left there before the ark of the covenant of the Lord Asaph and his brethren to minister before the ark continually as every day's work required. And Obadiah with their brethren, 68, Obadiah with his son of Jeduthun and Hosea to be porters, and Zodok the priest and his brethren the priests, before the tabernacle of the Lord in the high place that was at Gibeon, to offer burnt offerings unto the Lord, and to the altar of the burnt offering continually morning and evening, and to do according to all that is written in the law of the Lord, which he commanded Israel. And with them Heman and Jeduthun, and the rest that were chosen, who were expressed by name, to give thanks to the Lord, because his mercy endureth forever. With them Haman and Judah, the trumpets and cymbals, for those that shall make sound with the musical instruments to God. And the sons of Jeduthun were porters, and all of the people departed, every man to his house, and David returned to bless his house. So this is probably like the tribe of the Judah, the Levites, that are all the priests that they're talking about in here.
So when you spoke, I'm giving someone, they want to know, I'm doing as quick as I can, guys, what you're reading. What rang my bell is when you went back to that 1,000 generations.
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all what tomorrow is, and I've already it's 2,106 years, and it's a new astronomical generation. Now, some say because of the tilt of the Earth, it could be a few weeks later in October. But let me say, wouldn't y'all agree that one generation's 21 and a half years? Think about it. When you're about 22 years old, don't you have children?
Yeah, some people have maybe 30. 30 at most.
But not back in these days.
Well, actually, I've read some in the Old Testament. It kind of hit me weird when I was reading the ages of when they had children, because some of them, they had 2 and 3 wives. But the men didn't have children, some of them until they were 40 years old. Abraham was very old before he had his first child. And Sarah was over 100.
But I don't know if they count
let's just say 30 generationally. Everybody's probably had one kid by 30 if they're going to have them. Because some guys wait. Girls want to have them. Their biological clock is ticking at 25.
So I got there, and some theological interpretations say that Jesus does sacrifice the last heifer here. It's not a historical event. Let's see if there's anything that I can just pull out of here. Y'all can all see as well as I can. It's the ultimate sacrifice for humanity's sins. And I never heard anything about this, but AI has.
I heard it yesterday and I'd never heard it before.
AI knows all about it. It goes into everything about it. Jesus' sacrifice is seen as the means by which his believers are purified from spiritual death and sin. Now, I thought that was him going on the cross, but now they're saying, they're speaking about a bunch of different things, but this is all having to do with the last sacrifices you can see of the last heifer. And maybe
they did just practice it and they saved the heifer for Jesus and he came back. I don't know.
And someone told me that it was practice, but
some people said it was real.
Some people said it was real, but I do know that they need enough ashes for and I don't know if the temple is like a 5x5 or if it's a huge area, but it does say in our actual Bible that they need to cover the ground, or the Jewish Bible, with the ashes of the heifer before they build the third temple. I don't know if it's sprinkle it. I don't know any of the ins and outs. I took that away from something I heard at one.
The heifer's real strict. So the heifer can't be led by a rope. It can't ever work a day in its life. It can't ever walk across any land that a dead person's been, or the priest. There's a lot of specifications about the priest. The priest never leave the house because they're afraid that the priest will cross his feet across some place that a dead person's been, which would mess up the ritual because the ashes are supposed to protect you from unclean spirits, which are like what they think are ghosts or dead people. So like when somebody dies, they use the ash to purify the people that are around the body. But they won't let the priest or the cows cross anything that's ever been dead before.
I remember looking up atonement, guys, when I was doing my video the other day on the 22nd, tomorrow. Can y'all help me remember what atonement? It says that here that Jesus, by offering himself to God without a spot or blemish, actually did the 10th and final perfect red heifer sacrifice. And so it was, instead of actual, it was, how would I explain that? What's the better word for it?
He is the perfect sacrifice than a heifer.
Right, and that's what it says here.
He's without sin. He's without blemish.
And they're saying that he did the 10th, right here, he did the 10th and final perfect red heifer sacrifice when he offered himself to God without a spot or blemish. And that's that's just one sect of, obviously, many Christian religions saying that. I'm not saying any of this is the ashes of the red heifer for purification purposes. I don't know about that. we do know that I've actually seen them build a temple, walk them up there, burn them. Seen all that stuff happen. That was this year. I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully, see, I want to be here tomorrow, and I don't think that the rapture's ever mentioned anywhere in the Bible.
They're supposed to be having a live stream in Jerusalem of them blowing 100 shofars.
The Day of Trumpets?
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
like
Rose
and
and Shine?
Live stream where everybody can watch it. And they're going to have like 100 priests blow 100 trumpets at the same time.
And there's something about that sound, guys, believe it or not, that does something.
It's supposed to be a signal to Jesus that they accept him as Messiah and asking him to come back.
Wow, I didn't know that either.
And there's a scripture, if I could find it, and it says that when the Jews acknowledge Jesus as the Messiah, that he will come back. Like he's upset that they put him to death and stoned him, and that they didn't acknowledge him as their Lord and Savior.
Well, if you'll remember,
when they do recognize it, then he will come back.
If you remember about, 12 months, 18 months ago, the main Hebrew priests, if that's what you call them, said that they had already met with the Messiah, and he's already been back, and they know who he is. Y'all remember all that? So the Jews actually came out and said that.
Weren't they talking about what they call like the highest rabbi, not Jesus?
That's the guy that said he had actually, I guess, spoken. And I don't know if they meant Jesus. They don't think Jesus is anybody. They spit on Christians. I showed y'all last night. I went and showed y'all last night because no one believed me. If you go there on a Christian field trip, all they do is spit on you. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that they said...
But what was the name of that kind of rabbi that they accepted so high?
I remember... I don't want to call him the Antichrist.
You're Jewish. Do you know the name of it?
The Savior, Messiah...
No, the name of the high priest that's in the temple. That's the Jewish priest, the highest.
No, I grew up in a Catholic and then Christian situation.
Well, Google it. What's the name of the Jewish high priest? There's a term for it. I've read it.
And here it doesn't. Hold on. Right here it doesn't say that. I thought I heard, like you said, the Jew high priest said that. I don't know if priest is the right word. Pure. EST, but we'll try it.
When they say when Jews accept him,
so
then he'll come back.
Look at this. They're talking about Yom Kippur, which is in 10 days. The Day of Atonement in 10 days from now, or from tomorrow.
Everybody thinks that would be... A lot of people think the rapture is going to be tomorrow or the next day. And then they think that Judgment Day is on them days are coming.
Which is in 10 days after that.
Yeah.
I think that's the 2nd. Is that right? 1st or 2nd of October. They call the high priest, and I've never heard this in my life, so... I've never heard of that in my life, so... there's got to be another name, because I know that we probably heard it before. See, that's why I wanted to ask the Day of Atonement.
That's the one that wore the bells on their outfit when they went into the holiest of holies.
Did y'all see the crown that they gave to Trump? It was amazing. they crowned Trump this last year. Did y'all see that?
I did.
It was scary as hell. I think that they believe that he is the Messiah. And I told y'all he comes from the fallen angel blood and Mary Magdalene's blood, Jesus' mother. So, this is Trump being crowned, if they show us anymore. I don't even know what he was being crowned as, but it was like really high.
See, the high priest has to be a male descendant of Aaron, the first high priest. So you have to be from not just a Levite, but you have to be a male descendant of Aaron to be a high priest. So only the ones that were descendants of Aaron's were this past year held up in a house like for 20 some years. Like while they were making all these clothes and all these trees, the hyssop and all that stuff for this ritual that they were going to do with the red heifers. These people never left their house to go shopping.
So
they never left their house from the time they were born until the time they performed this ceremony.
So we nailed it. July 2023, President Donald Trump was presented a silver Torah crown, known as the Crown of Jerusalem, by the Israel Heritage Foundation. The event included a reception of 150 Orthodox Jews. They're the ones that spit on you.
At his New Year's Eve golf club.
I mean,
that tells you everything. His golf club.
Oh, right? God. And
they just wanted to get into the golf club.
They were just playing a couple rounds. But that was an expensive crown, I could tell. It was pure silver Torah crown. It was in a glass box. It was gratitude for his policies. I always found it weird that he'd let his daughter walk away from Christianity. And
she's married to a Jewish guy.
Right, but to do that, she has to denounce Jesus as her savior. Am I right?
I don't know.
That's what it said.
You might be right. I don't know about that. I can't answer that question. I don't know the answer to that one. I don't know what... I've never tried to marry a Jew or looked into marrying a Jew during my life, so...
You know,
I study like
we're all Jewish.
The Bible, you know.
Listen, we all have Jewish blood, all of us, including Jesus. Mm-hmm. He was 100% Jew, if you want the truth. Mm-hmm. So we can't really say. Someone did say that they were sending some information to me on the 3 sects of Judaism. And they were going to help me explain or help me show you guys what we're dealing with versus what a real Jew is. So,
well, I know that there's some Jews that believe in Jesus, and they're called Messianic Jews. And I know that there's some Orthodox Jews that do not believe that Messiah has come back. I don't know what the other one is.
Right, I don't know if those are the 3. I don't
Maybe
know.
It's the holy ones that wear all the little curl things, you know, by the front.
Those are the Orthodox.
The little curls that are by their face.
Well, I think
you see them in New York, you know,
sure,
around the subway in their area. Like, they have like an area that they hang out together.
They have a bunch of underground tunnels and shit. I know all about them.
Like, okay, here's another thing that I didn't know about Jews until like 2 or 3 years ago. On the Sabbath, they can't walk over a mile, which I knew that. But they can't walk underneath like a power line. So they had to ask New York to remove all these power lines where they walked to the temple to go to church.
Actually,
they weren't allowed to walk under a power line.
They circled the whole island with something to make it okay for them to do it. I forgot the exact story, but they couldn't get around doing what you're saying. So somehow they circled the entire island with something that made it not work, i.e. to walk around on that day. I have to look it up, but I did do that story at one point, but it's been a while, guys. It's been a while.
I thought that was pretty interesting. I didn't know that they couldn't walk under a power line.
I didn't know that either. Watch this.
Like, I had a friend over that was a Messianic Jew, and they would not eat anything that wasn't kosher. And I had to go out, and I had to buy a piece of meat that had never touched, like, pork. And I had to buy a whole new cutting board and a whole new knife that had never cut pork, and a cutting board that had never touched pork. And that was the only way that I could get them to eat steaks at my house. And I bought a new pan that had never touched pork to cook it in. And I mean, I went to extremes to make them steaks.
A fishing line encircles all of Manhattan, protecting the sanctuary of the Jews. Now, I already knew this, but I didn't know it was a fishing line. Barely visible, but it's been there, and it permits, it's for them for the Sabbath. You can see it here. And hey, I ask you to do your own investigation of that. I can't imagine that no one has torn it or done something to it. It creates a symbolic domestic perimeter for the Sabbath. And they actually have that. It's called the ERUV, eruv. But I did a video on that, and they took that down too. So I'm so.
I try to learn as much as I can about their culture, but I don't know everything. I used to go to school with a bunch of people that are Jewish, and I went to a, when they turned 13.
Right, bar mitzvah.
Bar mitzvah, yeah. And dude, that was the best party I ever went to at my age. I'm kidding. And I was like, these guys get loaded. They get all this money at this age, and they're called a man, and they get to make all these decisions at such a young age. And I was like, that's pretty cool, you know. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be an adult at 13.
Right.
And they had some really good, they had wine flowing, they didn't care if we drank, they didn't care. But of course, this was in the 80s, this was different times.
Did Tiffany marry a Muslim? I didn't know that.
Can she or did she?
Tiffany Trump, I didn't know that. I thought Tiffany Trump was Eric's wife, but maybe I'm just totally wrong.
It's not Amy
Oh
Trump.
no, Tiffany is the cousin. Who?
It's the one that he Trump just kind of like washed his hands over, the one that was married to the Kushner guy. And he was fine with her up until like the last year or two. Like whenever he ran, like after his inauguration, it was almost like he cut ties with her, and I didn't know why.
Son-in-law of the 45th, 47th President Donald Trump, through his marriage to Tiffany Trump. His father is Mossad Boreas. And let's figure out who that is, because that's going to answer all the questions. That don't sound like anybody I know about. A Lebanese American businessman, senior advisor to the President of the United States. God, what small circles they weave. Senior advisor.
Well, I mean, you see Trump get on stage with MBS and, like, just praise him.
Well, he just named them a terrorist organization 2 days ago on an executive order. He put out an executive order naming the Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization. I'm just letting you know. I mean, I don't know what to think anymore about any of this political stuff. She blew her job off, making $150,000 a year, because the EAU wanted her as a registered foreign agent for their political action committee. They paid her just under $600,000. She quit her job as Attorney General and went to work for the United Emirates as a foreign agent, registered foreign agent, legal. But it was all about the money. So, y'all know where Lebanon is, don't y'all? Y'all have to be listening here. Think about it. Lebanon here, guys. We're talking about abutting Israel to the north, where rockets are being sent all day long. And that's Tiffany's husband and his father.
I have a question, James. Do you know somebody with a good plane, like a good jet?
You know, we just put our 172, which was not a good plane, up for sale. No. I do know somebody, but he can only, what he does is he can only take it from here to Orlando. He brings hearts and
No, I want somebody that can take me, like, to an area close to Turkey.
Right. No.
In an emergency situation.
I mean, I would.
And it's going down. I read today that there was huge sinkholes off the coast of Florida.
So,
and they were all connected, and they shut, like, the tourism down in Florida because of these.
They're trying to hide it. What's going on? And I've YouTube pulled this. What they did is when Deepwater BP rig had that blowout, that was methane gas. What they did is they punctured one of the biggest methane deposits in the world, which is deadly for everything. Us, fish. Deepwater Horizon. And that's what causes, ever since that happened, thousands of sinkholes in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida have been forming, and it's all coming from that big methane deposit that's most of the Gulf of Mexico. And they want to hide that from everybody, but it's spreading so quickly now. I did a video about it, and
they can't hide it anymore.
I showed the scientific paperwork and how the methane was coming up mostly in Florida, but still hitting the other Gulf Coast places, and how BP, everyone knows, all the people in the know. And YouTube took it down.
Now, the other one question I've got for you before I get off the phone. You did a thing on the sunspot the other day.
I did.
Now, is that going to be Earth-facing tomorrow?
It should be. I mean, still Earth-facing, yeah.
What is it capable of doing?
They said they've never seen one like that. All I did was read what they said. I didn't know, because every other sunspot we've ever seen has a black core, which means it's cool, and this one has a yellow core, which means it's hot. So it's not reverse polarity either, because that's why I showed you all the polarity map, negative and positive, because the polarities are correct. It's negative over positive still in the southern hemisphere. So I'm more
I think we should keep an eye on it for the next 2 days. Because it's probably going to do something weird if they've never seen it before, and because of what's going on right now.
I think it's funny how they asked us to watch it for them. They said, for all you backyard astronomers, this is the one we want you to keep an eye on. I'm thinking, where are y'all going? Right. Can we get in?
No, we're scared of those salt mines.
That's probably one of the safest places to be. Believe it or not. I can't believe that she's married to a Lebanese. That's another word for
wealthy. I mean, stupid money wealthy.
I'm sure. Well, thank you, Miss Amy. Love you. Great to hear from you.
Too.
How was your trip?
I haven't gone for, yeah.
Oh, I thought you already maybe came and went.
No, I'm going October 18th to the 26th.
I'll pack my bag. I'll be waiting.
All right.
God bless you guys. God bless you, Miss Amy. And hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Hopefully we won't. Hopefully we'll be raptured.
Well.
What do you mean, hopefully? I just supposed to remark just in case.
God. Hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope I'm worthy. Everyone in the back of their heads wonders, it can't only be 144,000 people, because that would be the Orthodox preachers alone.
Yeah, because in Revelations it said there was people, the numbers they could not even count. It's going to be more than that.
So we all know in the back of our heads, are we worthy? Am I worthy?
The 144,000 is actually from the tribes of Judah. It says 12,000 people per tribe, which is the 12 tribes, which is the 144. They're probably, quote-unquote, the chosen that God has always had in his back of his mind. But it is said, among others, there was a multitude they could not count. And that's all the Gentiles. That's all of us.
God, I hate be calling a Gentile.
But the funny thing is, when God died on the cross, we all became Jewish. So it's like we became chosen too when we accepted Jesus Christ. A lot of people don't know that. You're given Jewish heritage at the time that you accept Jesus Christ into your life.
Now you're just confusing us.
And we're all descendants of Abraham anyway.
Well, this is an Abraham religion, and so is Judaism. So.
Well, Noah was the only one that got off the ark.
But so
with
is
his three
it.
sons and his three daughters and his wife. So there was like 4 couples. So we're all descendants of those 4 couples.
So you're my cousin. Okay,
yeah,
cuz.
You're my cousin.
I'll see you tomorrow, cuz. I'll see you tomorrow, cuz.
Alright, bye, cuz.
God bless you. Love you.
Alright, bye.
Love you guys. Thanks for joining us. Always interesting. You know, all we do is learn. Every day that you don't learn something, you've gotten nowhere in your life. So I'm about to put together, I've been putting together for 3 or 4 days, 5 days now, the Gateway program by the CIA. I took the whole PDF, cleaned it up. I've had it summarized by 3, 4 different types of AI. I'm going to try to bring it to y'all in a format that's going to be decent. But it's not ready yet. It probably will be to the first of the month, just because I pay so much for some of my services, and they're out until the 1st. And so on the 1st of the month, which is just a few days away, 8 days away, if we're still here, I'll be able to get my services vamped back up for the month and be able to do some more things I need to that text. So it's the Gateway program. It's the #1 most sought after leaked document from the CIA ever. That's what they call it, at least. So lots of love. Hopefully we'll have that for you around the 1st. God bless you guys. You have a wonderful evening. Lots of love from me to you. And thank Miss Amy for reading. Awesome job as always. Comes so easy for her. I wish it was that easy for me. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all be safe. And hopefully we'll see you on the backside of this. God bless. Remember, anything's possible. Bizarro world. Love you, Jen. God bless you.